and welcome back to Sounds of Living. I'm your host today, Alex Kellerman, and I'm sitting here with my grandma, Jean Kormos. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing fine. This is a wonderful idea, and because it involves the family so much, it just makes it easier for me. It's wonderful.
I'm glad. Do you mind telling us about yourself?
No, not at all. I'm a grandma of many children. My daughter remarried, and we ended up getting some more kids in our family, which was very nice, and she's very happy. I found music to be very important to me because it helped me do things that I didn't think I was capable of. And it was great just to have that feeling instead of being afraid of the world. That was the biggest pivotal thing in my life, was music. Back then, it just changed everything around. It made it happy. It made it comfortable. It made me see other people that were talented and hear the sounds that I liked to hear. It was very good.
What else did you do other than be a grandmother and a mother?
Well, I did swimming at school in the swimming pool, and I was a very good swimmer, although someone tried to drown me once, which wasn't good, but I was fine. I learned from one teacher in particular, my French teacher. He was very good and very kind. He even talked about songs that the teenagers were listening to, and it was kind of fun to hear that because he was open enough to do that. So it was really good. It was real good. French. Good. I wish I could remember those words. So anyway, but yeah, and the radio, the music, all the things that I experienced that helped me get stronger. And even up to this date, sometimes I would have a hard time saying no when perhaps I didn't want to do something. And I'm happy to say that I can say no now. That brought me through another change. And the music had a lot to do with it. I mean, that tiny little radio that we had. And that was something I shared with my sister.
So that radio, when did you get it?
It might have been like 10, 12 years old. And Margie and I are 18 months apart. And it was a Christmas gift. And we kept on thinking, oh my gosh, maybe Mom will get it for us. And then they didn't bring it out right away with the Christmas present. So I was so worried we weren't going to get it. But we got it. We'd listen to any of the radio programs and the music that I liked and my sister liked. Yeah, we both enjoyed the music. It was very good.
Any artists in particular that you were drawn to?
The Beatles. And Fleetwood Mac I loved. I don't know why I loved them so much, but I did. I liked listening to them, so it was pretty cool.
And then you also had put down Bandstand. What's Bandstand?
Bandstand was a show that was going on for all the teenagers in America, and they would dance, and then they had real talented dancers that were on the show as well, and they wore those little poodle skirts that was very popular then. They'd get flipped around with the dancing partner they had. There were so many things that they did that was so different from what I had ever seen, and so that was very, very good. And then even that little touch of Disney, they had dance programs and singing and stuff. That was also very good.
Them dancing, like what exactly made you drawn to it?
The music.
The music, okay.
Yeah, the music is what made me listen to it and then to visualize it because TV put it into that. You have to remember, I didn't have a TV at first for a long time. We just did not have one.
So it was just the fact that you were able to see the music you were listening to come to life.
That was nice. That was very nice to see that kind of a thing. And then my brother would dance with us. My oldest brother would dance with us to the music too sometimes. It was really kind of fun. We used to go to downtown Chicago where the fountain is there that's famous down there, and we would swim in the lake and stuff like that, and all kinds of radios were blaring. I mean, it was just crazy.
For the musicals, which ones did you like in particular?
Fiddler on the Roof was a very important one for me because when my husband and I went out to see that was our first date. And we remember that and liked it a lot. Fiddler on the Roof was very good. The music was wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful.
Whenever you would go and watch the musicals, were you reminded of
certain things?
Of
yes.
certain things.
It would bring it back to me. Yeah.
Do you think that's why you were drawn to them?
Probably. Yeah. It has all to do with that music and how the music changed me as a person. I became stronger and more sure of myself.
Did you listen to the words, or was it just more how it made you feel? Like,
The
what
music
exactly?
made me feel good. The music made me feel really good. And it was always nice to be able to hear it. And plus, when we had that little radio, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because we could listen to it whenever we wanted.
Okay, so it was like a way to cope, but there wasn't anything like in particular other than just listening to it.
Right.
Okay.
Right, yeah. And then I started dating other people and stuff, and I met a lot of different people who liked music too. So it was hard not to like it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was good.
That makes sense. And what about the Beatles and Fleetwood Mac made you drawn to them?
Well, I was in love with the Beatles. And Fleetwood Mac, their sounds were so cool and so relaxed. I mean, they were just like this fancy group of people who knew exactly what they wanted to do. And it was just beautiful. So I listened to them a lot. I had those records for a long time. You probably have some of them even, I'm sure. Miles had some too he gave you, so there's a lot of those. Music is a real happy place. There are a lot of times in our home right now that we just turn off the TV and listen to music. That is very true.
Yeah.
So.
And I know that you said that you'd listen to Fleetwood Mac growing up. A lot of people don't know about Fleetwood Mac before Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham came on. You had described Fleetwood Mac, just knew what they wanted to perform. It was easy to listen to, and it had its own vibe that you feel relaxed. What exactly about it made you feel that way?
As soon as I hear the tunes.
The tunes, okay.
I feel like, oh my gosh, this is great.
It was just the combination of everything.
Combination of everything. It just brings together my love for music. And, you know, we listen a lot of times to music. Now, it's good. It's been quite a journey.
Yeah. It's been there consistently from day one.
I would say, pretty much, yeah. From being a young child, yes.
After listening to the radio and watching these TV shows in your younger years, the next pivotal point that you wanted to talk about was moving from your Catholic high school to a public high school.
Right.
And just how the Fleetwood Mac and the Beatles were still there for you. Like, tell me about that experience first off.
Well, in school, it was really easy to hear the music because everyone had something that they were walking around with.
At the public school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there would be certain times the teachers would say, turn it off, or it was almost natural to hear that. And like I told you, I wanted that radio for Christmas, and I didn't think we were going to get it, but we did get it. So that changed everything for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we got TV, there was even more to listen to and see and hear. But it took a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then for the high school transfer, what was hard about that?
I was my shy self, and I hadn't been out of that Catholic school just that one year I went to it, and I didn't know how people would be to me. But as it turned out, there were a lot of really nice kids there. They would talk to me, and I'd do different things with them. Sometimes I'd do homework with some of them or whatever. And then I found out, this isn't so bad. This is pretty nice. And that made me broaden into a more secure person.
That's awesome. Yeah. And the music being there consistently just like helped with that process of transferring.
Yeah.
When you were at the Catholic school, what did you miss most about it?
I missed having uniforms because I came from a poor family. My mom had 5 of us by herself. So the uniforms were great because I didn't have to compete with anyone in that school about fancy clothes. When you're in a public school, you can wear whatever you want. But in the Catholic school, you wear this uniform thing. I was just like the rest of them, and that made me feel better.
And then when you did go to the public school, were you able to kind of figure out what your style was?
Yes, and that's when I found out that I really loved swimming, and so I swam a lot. Actually, that was in the curriculum of the school. You had to swim.
You also had mentioned that you would go to the school dances. Tell me more about those.
The school dancers were really fun.
Yeah.
Because there was always a theme with them. Sometimes costumes, and there was a lot of those all the time. Like they had a thing called the sock hop, which means you go with socks on. And it was fun.
So everybody would just wear socks?
Just socks for that night, yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Would everybody be like slipping and sliding?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But it was all fun. I mean, everybody was up for it, so it was a good thing. Yeah. It was cute. Cool. And I did that, and then there were dances for special occasions, like they'd have a Easter dance, or they'd have a Christmas party, and everyone would dance and play music for that all the time. And some of the teachers were really cool there, too. They wanted to see the kids have a good time. It was good. It molded me into who I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think so.
It's good that you've had this music to kind of support you throughout this whole process of your life, especially the years where you're trying to grow into yourself.
Right, yeah.
So the last thing that has really made a huge impact on you, that music has been there for as well, has been when you met Papa. Tell me, what was that like? What was the story behind that?
My first date with him was Fiddler on the Roof, and it was a beautiful play. It was amazing.
So it already started with music.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet him?
I met him at a local restaurant/bar. I didn't know him for a while because as you worked in this place, you started in the basement because you were the new one.
Yeah.
And of course, Papa was working up front. So I never saw him for months because I was in the lower thing. But when I saw him, I knew I really liked him.
What about him did you like?
He's so big. I like big men. He was very big. And he's very kind, and he's very honest. He's everything that I hadn't seen before.
And that's been consistent throughout your marriage?
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll be married 50 years in January.
That's an accomplishment.
That is a real accomplishment, yeah. We're going to go out on a cruise, and we'll be out with our dear friends, and they're going to keep us company for that date, so that'll be nice.
Did you guys listen to the Beatles and Fleetwood Mac together?
Yes, some of them, because Papa would listen to a lot of those songs. You know, then we gave the records to you.
Yeah, that's true.
And
you started my collection.
I know. It was fun. And he always, music was very, very important to him. All the songs and stuff, yeah. Very, very important. I liked it. It was very good. I'm glad I had it. But I wasn't addicted to it like your grandpa was. He was.
Yeah.
He was very addicted to it, yeah. He'd say the date and whatever song it was right away as soon as he'd hear it. Really.
Yours was just like...
It was always there. I wasn't there maybe when I was 6 years old, but it was there pretty early.
Yeah.
That I liked the music. I found out, oh, that's nice.
Does it make you feel comfortable in your own skin?
Yeah. I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin now, though. So.
Yeah. I mean, like, it allowed you to be you.
Mm-hmm. I had to work on that for a while. I just was too afraid to do anything. I was so shy, so very shy. But I'm okay now.
That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of people know you and love you and recognize how amazing of a person you are.
Oh. I try. I do.
Before we end your episode, I do want to give you the chance to say whatever you think is important for people to know, whether it be about you or just in general. Is there anything that you think people should know?
I think what I would say, especially in the life we're in with so many different things that we're not used to and people aren't happy about things, I just think that in a minute it could be over. Why would they fight and carry on all this time and have such unhappy thoughts when you can turn around and do something for a neighbor that needs help? I really believe that. And I do it all the time. Yeah,
so
I would say
kind and
I think being
others.
kind and helping others. Yeah. I mean, I drive people around a lot. It's a good thing to do.
It'll go a long way.
It should. I hope so. And then I have wonderful grandchildren.
We all love you
very
much and appreciate you and everything that you do for everybody, and it doesn't go unrecognized.
I know, sweetie. I do know. Yeah. I remember when I first did my knee thing, the girls were saying, "Grandma, don't move. We'll put your cane there." So that's very welcome. Yeah. It would be so much better if people thought about being kind. Yep, that would be so much better. And your grandpa's like that. He's very good to me. That's my story.
Thank you, Bamas.
You're welcome. Thank you, Alex.
I hope you had a good time on the show.
I did. I had a great time. It's wonderful.
And to wherever you are, I wish you happiness and good health.
Oh,
and
thanks.
I will see you next episode on Sounds of Living.
All righty.
Say goodbye, Bamas.
Bye.